Okay, our guitar today is a Martin D-41. I don't know what year it is. It's a recent one. And my job was to make it sound a little bit better, make it sound as good as I could make it. So I did the usual things. I changed the tuners out, big, heavy Grover Rotomatic tuners. Changed them out. We put these gold Waverlys on, and these are the limited edition deals with the tortoise buttons on them. They're really cool. I mean, they're really pretty tuners. Look good on this guitar, you know. It's a fancy guitar. Actually, they weren't Rotomacs. They were the Shallers, I think. They have the offset deal. Anyway, they were heavy tuners. We put Waverlys on them. The nut was fine. I left it alone. Fretzer off fine. Left that alone. Popsicle braces out. The X braces were the HD type, where they're not shaved about 1.5 inches away from the X. So I went ahead and scalloped those all the way up to make it more like a GE authentic bracing. Gives you a little bit more bass, a little more woof. Did the back braces, shaved them down to pre-90s height. That gives it more woof. While we're at it, the neck had a lot of relief in it. The action was super low, so that when it came in, the stocks or the saddle was really low, really low. So I took the relief out of the neck, flattened it out a little bit, and bumped the action up to 93 thousandths of an inch, which is 3/32 of an inch. We ended up with a really tall saddle, not a really tall saddle, but a nice tall saddle, and lots of room for adjustment on that one. That's actually about right, you know. It's got a little bit of a steep angle on this low bass right here, but nothing much to worry about right there. Yeah. And I expect the action's going to come up just a little bit. How's that X bracing kicks in? It's going to take a couple months, you know, at least. But if the action comes up, then we got lots and lots of saddle to load, which is good. So that all looks nice. The owner already had bone bridge pins in here. I'm not real enthusiastic about bone pins. I feel like they're a little too bright. And if the ball end ever rattles against it, man, they can really ping. So bone pins are not my favorite, but, you know, they look pretty on this guitar. I personally might run ebony pins on that. It's kind of a bright guitar compared to that authentic, you know. It's got a lot of snap. One thing about bone pins, I don't mind them that much. I mean, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just a couple cautions about them, okay? You got to really watch the ball ends, make sure they're snug against that, because if they rattle against a bone pin, they will rattle. The other thing is don't get them tight. These pins are a little too tight. If you have to push them down to make them seat, they're too tight. I've seen more cracked bridges with bone pins than I think anything else. So I went ahead and reamed this up a little bit, made those pins fit just a tiny bit loose, because I want the string to push on them, you know, to get the tightness on them. So you got to watch that your bone pins are not in there tight. If you have to push them down with your thumb, you know, to get that last little bit, they're too tight. Loosen them up a little bit, ream them out. What else did we do to it? I think that's it, you know. The auto has a pickup system in here already. It looks as a K&K with a little microphone and all that. So that was kind of a headache working around that, because you're trying to scalp the braces and these pickup wires are in the way. You got to get the pickup out of the way, shift it around. It takes about twice as long to do anything when you got a pickup in there. But here's the guitar. I like it a lot. Compared to that authentic, now obviously they're not the same guitar. The authentic has got an Adirondack spruce top, a red spruce top, and it's got forward shifted bracing. Forward shifted bracing. That's automatically going to give it a bassier, boomier sort of sound. But I'm just comparing it to say, how does this guitar compare to what I would consider the state-of-the-art D-28, the state-of-the-art modern D-28, you know? And frankly, I like this guitar a little bit better. The reason I do like it better, the neck, of course, is wonderful. It's got a nice even taper on it. That authentic has got that weird taper. Starts thin down here and gets really thick and fat right up here real fast. And, you know, you get used to it. But then you come to a neck like this one, and this one's just perfect, you know. It's nice even taper, nice soft rounded V, very consistent. This neck is just so much more comfortable to me. I'm also getting to where I kind of prefer 1/11/16" necks again. And when I get back to the authentic, it's a big neck. It's a handful. So this guitar is just a little bit more comfortable to me. I also think it's got a snappier, punchier sound, and I like the snappier, punchier sound better than I like a big, mellow sound. Not to say the authentic is bad or anything, because, I mean, it is, you know, a D-28 1937 authentic. But I just kind of prefer the sound of this guitar a little bit more. I like a snappier, brighter sound. It's got plenty of bass, and the bass is going to increase a little bit and get a little bit fuller as everything kicks in and it ages a little bit more. So this is a good guitar and plays wonderfully. You know, I got no complaints about this guitar whatsoever. Got a lot of snap, a lot of volume, right punchy sound, good sustain. Good guitar, you know. Light. Not, I mean, it's not like a D-18, but it's not heavy. Not for a D-28 style guitar. So. That sounds good. Let's go on home if the owner approves of it. D-41.